Alright guys, welcome to the first bonus episode of Karma and Tranquility. Dude, how fucking long am I gonna do that? Oh my god.
You'll get it eventually.
I can't say our own fucking podcast name.
Yeah, wake up every morning and keep saying it to yourself in there.
Welcome to Karma and Tranquility, bonus episode 1. I'm gonna have to say it super slow from now on. These bonus episodes are basically just gonna follow a basic format. We're trying to keep them shorter, so we got a lot of stuff to cover in the main ones, and we thought we would put the solo stuff. If it's a big deal solo thing, I'm sure we'll find time down the road to revisit and make it a full episode, but in the meantime, we want to give you guys as much content as we can possibly do, and with our schedules, I think this is the best way we'll be able to do that. I think you guys agree. Because they're just as important, but I don't think we need all the flair that the normal ones would. So we just finished listening to, and these are going to be random, by the way. The normal episodes kind of follow a format of track 1, track 2, track 3, and on through the same debut album, second albums, third albums. These are just going to be kind of random. I think out of the three of us, I'm the most knowledgeable on these solo songs. Would you guys say?
Oh, for sure. That? Yeah. Okay. I don't really know any of the Voidz stuff, so this will be a nice little introduction for me.
Yeah. Which is cool because I'm excited for you guys to hear all of these things. We just got done listening to Julian Casablancas' song Glass off of his first solo album, not with the Voidz, but just his solo album.
Oh, so this is not
That's
the
not
Voidz.
the Voidz.
Okay,
this is Julian's solo album, Phrazes for the Young, which came out in 2009. So about 2 years before Alex did his solo EP, which makes sense because the Strokes came first and they were kind of ahead of the curve. The album cover, I've always loved. He's got his dog down there. He's got a record player with one of those speaker phones up there atop, whatever they used to be called.
Right.
Then he's got a Guitar Hero guitar looking thing in the back. So he's just sitting in there. I love that. Whatever that.
That's
room
very
is.
2009.
Yeah, I love that. But I was telling you guys, this is probably my favorite Julian song of all time. At least for sure from his solo stuff. It came at a specific time in my life that was really important on its own, but also I just think it captures his voice personally in a perfect way. You got his falsetto, you got his deeper vocals, his mid range. He pretty much have everything in there in it. Again, guys, this is called Glass. It's from Julian's solo album called Phrazes for the Young. It's on all the streaming platforms. You can find it. And guys, Brendan is back already for the second record. I'm sure you can hear him whining. I feel like that's just going to be something you guys should expect at every episode at this point. I'm not even going to bring it up. You guys know who it is at this point here. All right, so we'll start with Manny. What did you think on your first time hearing that song? What did you take away from it?
It was interesting. I thought it was the Voidz, so that kind of, changes it a little bit. But it was interesting. It had a lot of cool sounds in it. Not if you would have told me hey, we're gonna listen to his solo stuff. That's not really what I would have thought of. But yeah, it was interesting. It was pretty cool.
Yep. Well, what do you think? I know you've known this song for a little bit. I know I've showed this to you a little while back.
Kind of like what you said, it does capture his voice really well. And even though it's not the Strokes, it's just Julian, he still brings that feeling. He wants you to make bring a certain feeling to the song. And with the music going on compared to his vocals, I feel the music is kind of cheery versus he's singing, it sounds kind of sorrowful. So you have this one beat that's taking you somewhere, but then his vocals are kind of taking you somewhere else.
Yeah.
So kind I listen to it, I just feel kind of a mix of emotions, but it's kind of there's a good relief feeling.
I thought I would try to explain why I love it so much. It's really hard. It's just one of those songs. When you listen to a song and you're just when you hear it for the first time, you're just holy shit, this thing is awesome. I'm gonna play it on repeat. And you just keep playing it over and over again. And it's not a song that you would sit there and jam to, but it's one that you just love the way the melody is so much that when they go back and repeat that verse or that chorus that you hear all the time, you're oh, thank God, now he's doing it again.
Right.
That was that song for me. The verse, the melody, and the the vibe of the verses for me. That's what gets me. And then like the part in the chorus where he does his falsetto, like I love everything about that. And like let alone the guitar solo in this thing, I love the guitar solo in that song. Yeah. I'm pretty sure whenever I watch videos of him, there's a cool behind the scene video on YouTube that came with when he released this album on the box set, where he like did all the behind the scenes stuff, and he plays the song on a synthesizer instead.
So that is him playing.
That's him playing,
Okay.
yeah. When you listen to the solo in this song, it sounds like a handoff. It's the kind like when the Strokes do it, like two guitar. So some of the solos are like part that person, part that one. They feed off each other. That's what I think it is. When he plays it live, he doesn't play guitar. Like he sings, and then he has someone else play the guitar.
He doesn't really play like on the Strokes.
He
know what
doesn't.
I mean, yeah. So like that's interesting.
Yeah, but when and there's in videos for some of his solo stuff, he's playing guitars. But yeah, for me, the vocals in this thing, like it's just to me it's pure Julian, and it just shows you his range because he goes from low to mid to high to alto to tenor to like pretty much every type of vocal area you can be at. What do you guys think of the musicianship on a song like that?
What do you mean by that?
Like the music, the
music
instruments, like the
itself?
music, the production.
I like the I don't know if it was like I think the synthesizer in the background, but like the dee doo dee doo. I love those kind of noises.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like you said, like I know it's just Julian, but he has like this certain sound that he brings with a lot of his songs. And it sounds kind of like a video game or like digital. And lately I've been kind of like really getting into that sort of like sound and music, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, there was a bit of like there was some pageantry there, if that makes sense. Like you wouldn't think that that's just like a solo. It just there's a lot of sounds going on. So it was interesting. There was a good mix. It's really not at all what I expected. So yeah.
What did you expect from it?
I don't know what I expected. maybe something more like stroke-ish, but definitely not like the synthesizers and things like that. There was like that breakdown like towards the end. I don't know what that sound was, but it was pretty cool. It was different.
Yeah, guys, I want to do this one first because I think I said at the beginning, this is one of my favorite Stroke songs, or like Stroke-related songs, Julian songs of all time, / one of my favorite songs of all time. It just hits me in a certain way where no matter how many times I listen to it, it's like a top favorite. And like for Manny M. Will, like this whole album is like phenomenal. Like Julian's solo album is great. A lot of it's probably going to be what you didn't expect if you expect it to be just instrument.
If it's more stuff like this, then it'll be an interesting kind of a more interesting ride than I thought it was going to be, for sure.
It is. I think you'll know a couple songs from it too once you actually hear them. But yeah, guys, that was Julian Casablancas' Glass. I encourage you guys to listen to it. Again, I think it's one of Julian's best work. Lyrically, musically, vocally. We didn't even talk about the lyrics. Like when you really deep dive into it, I know you have the lyrics pulled up. Will,
Yeah.
do you have some thoughts on the lyrics?
I'm trying to like piece it together still, because like it's a really just like crazy song. Like even the lyrics is crazy that he writes these own songs and then goes on to sing them. I just have so much respect for that. I like how he kind of drags out some of the words too. That's why I was trying to look at like which words. I'm trying to like sing it back in my head.
Yeah, I had a little trouble like following all the words, if I'm being honest. I was really trying to listen to the lyrics because I do listen to lyrics a lot.
Like this part,
yeah.
He says, "Please don't deceive me. I'm just so easily fooled." When he sings it, he kind of drags it out. Don't want to bring all that up. Like just him kind of like dragging like a little bit. The music is going at a certain pace, but like he keeps slowing down, kind of speeds up some of his words. And that's why I'm bringing like you have that sorrow coming down, and you have like this happy beat at the same time.
It was definitely, there was a lot of like, it was a bit of a roller coaster.
You didn't know where you don't know where you feel like I can say it from listening to it so many times. It's definitely a song that's like about, to me, I like interpret it as like betrayal, like a bunch of different ways. Like I know there's a point in there where he's like, if you want to know somebody, take a quick look at their best friend.
Oh yeah, that's a good
like
That's a good
they're
line.
yeah,
That's a good line.
Diamonds are hers, the dog is his. Like it's a lot of the most of the song is like singing about like betrayal and like things where it's not fair on one side in a relationship or a friendship, and knowing people, not knowing someone. Because it literally starts with I don't believe it, I won't believe it, I'm not sad I understand that's how it goes. Like, you don't even know what he's talking about, but you know he went through something, like, when he wrote this
someone
thing.
definitely hurt him,
Yeah.
for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but you can kind of feel it in there, yeah.
And the whole album isn't like this. Like, it's so, like, up and down. And if I could critique, if I can critique one part, I think it's one verse too long. But I like it because I love the way that the verses sound. Like, the melody of the way the verses are, guys. Like, it's so good, personally. But let's move on to Alex Turner's song. But first, what are we giving rankings-wise? Now, I hate throwing out a 5.
I had a feeling you were going to throw out a 5. Just hearing you talk about it, it's okay, Jared.
It's one of my favorites.
It's
one of my favorites. But the only reason why I'm throwing out 5 so early is because, number one, we were planning on doing this song in order. So this was going to come, like, way later in the podcast. But I was like, well, people want to hear about the Voidz, so let's just do, like, 2 solo stuff. The next weeks we'll talk about a Voidz and Shadow Puppets, and let's just do it random at that point. We don't have to have format for bonus. So it's going to be a 5 for me. But again, like, this is one of my favorite songs. It's not even just Strokes. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. So it's kind of a no-brainer. Like I said, I have a list of 5s that I probably am going to get, like, you know, I already know. And this was definitely one of them. So that's my ranking. And 5, by the way, guys, again, 5 is, like, no skips masterpiece.
Did we explain...
I think we did on the first one.
Okay, because I'm old and I can't remember.
No, we'll record on the regular set, but it's 1 is always skip, not good. 2 is not great, most of the time skip. 3 is good, or okay. 3 is like okay, like sometimes skip, and then 4 is great. 5 is no skip.
Yeah.
So like 1 through 2 is just like and then 3 is like in the middle, neutral, and then 4 and 5 is like the good, like the good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Will, what do you think?
Honestly, I also give it a 5.
Really?
It's one of those songs. Yeah, like since Jared just showed me it, I just don't skip it if it ever comes on. But if it's like one of those songs that, like, if I stood up like past midnight and it came on, I would probably just keep it on repeat for a while.
See, that's the kind of vibe. It's not a vibe. It's not a vibe you put in your car when you want to, like, feel good and rock out.
Yeah. Okay.
But when I showed it to him, we definitely aligned on. So I can speak to his 5. Like, we've both always thought the song was so good. Again, you're hearing it for the very first time, Manny.
So I don't have, like, that context.
So that's fine.
Don't kill me, guys.
I'm not gonna kill you.
It's not a bad song by any means, but I'm the type of person where, like, I'll hear a song and I'll think, okay, like, I like that song, and then I hear it again and then another time, and then it just kind of, like, the more that I hear it, the more it grows on me.
Yeah, this is first listen ranking. I'm okay with whatever you get. It's your opinion. It's whatever.
Yeah,
it's cool.
So just right off the rip, right, and maybe I'll change my mind later once I hear this a couple more times. But it's a 3 for me, just because maybe it's because it wasn't what I was expecting.
I was about to throw this table across the room if you said it too.
No, well, that's why I wanted to clarify, because at first I'm thinking, like, is this a 2?
No.
Like, am I about to throw out a 2 and, like, you guys are throwing out 5s? Like, this
I know.
Yeah, but no, I would say it's a 3. It's not a bad song. It's just, like, I need to listen to it a couple more times before I know, like, would I skip this? Would I not skip it? But it's not a bad song. Like, I don't want to...
That's how I feel about a lot of the Stroke songs, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I need to hear it a good amount of times before.
Right. I don't think, like, the artists that we're talking about, like, I don't really think that they create bad music ever. It's just...
Yeah.
Is this really my vibe or not? And just off the first listen, like, I can't really tell.
Yeah.
But from, like, a musical standpoint, like, it was a good song. So I'm gonna, for now, leave it at a 3.
That's fair. That is completely fair. Everyone's opinion is welcome.
Appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, for sure. And again, it's a first time listen. You know, I didn't give you any context when I was like, hey, this is one of my favorite songs of all time, because I could have shown it to you earlier, but I was like, I want the experience of just getting your fresh thoughts on it. Because it was one of those songs that when I heard it for the first time, I was like, oh, I know that's... I still remember putting this album on, and I was like, holy shit. But let's move on. We're getting to Alex Turner, his song... Stuck on a Puzzle. It's from his EP Submarine. It's literally called Submarine. Has like 5 or 6 songs on it. It's produced by James Ford, who does all the Last Shadow Puppets things with them. It was released March 2011, so about 2 years after Julian released his solo stuff. On the label Domino, so a separate stuff for the Arctic Monkeys, but he wrote it in New York. This EP is a very if you guys are like a person that likes to kind of chill in the park with your earbuds in and just like veg with the nice weather, would you agree, Will?
Yeah,
Like
I
this
think
type of style?
that's perfect. Yeah, I've been pretty sure I listened to this in like Central Park one time. I had this
Yeah.
album on. And it
It's
was, like,
very stripped back.
it's very like an autumn kind of like album. Every
Mm-hmm.
time like fall comes around, this is what I have on usually.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get into Stuck on a Puzzle. We're going to play it here, and then we'll be right back with you guys. Manny's never heard this one either. Let's get into it. All right, we just got done listening to Stuck on a Puzzle by Alex Turner on his EP Submarine. Anytime I think of submarine in music, I think of Yellow Submarine, which annoys the shit out of me.
I always thought, like, is he referencing?
No, I don't know
No.
why it's called that. I couldn't find anything much on it, unless I just
Okay.
missed it. But that's just what it is. The album cover is just like him or somebody or a kid, or I think it's him, like just when
It
he's
looks-
young or
yeah.
something. Like that's
Yeah,
what it
that
is.
looks like him.
I know it's a book and then they made it into a film, but I don't know why it's called Submarine.
Yeah. Real quick before I get into it, I wanted to mention the guy that produced it, James Ford. He co-produced Tranquility Base. He like produced Favorite Worst Nightmare and Suck It and See and a lot of pretty much everything. He was in the Last Shadow Puppets. He formed that with Miles Kane and Alex, but he also has credits on. We were just talking about the Gorillaz on the Now Now, which is the album that I like, and he also had to do with a lot of the Depeche Mode stuff.
Okay.
I love them, but then he also did Song Machine Season 1, the newer Gorillaz stuff as well. He's done a lot. Like I'm looking at all this stuff. So Pet Shop Boys he did.
Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah.
That's very different.
Yeah,
Okay. Interesting.
Florence and the Machine he's been involved with. They're great. A lot of good people, and he produced this album with Alex.
What's his name?
James Ford.
James Ford. Okay.
Yeah.
So James Ford. He knows
yeah.
what he's doing.
He's drums and percussion, plays
Okay.
bass guitar, pedal steel guitar, so I'm sure he had a lot to do with the Shadow Puppets when we get to it. But anyway, I'll let you start with this, because this is like your baby, I feel like, this album. Yeah.
This is like when I first started like discovering the Monkees. I don't know how I found like Alex Turner had the solo album. And I was just like, oh crap, you definitely gotta listen to this. And then I immediately fell in love with this album. I kind of like annoyed my previous roommates like playing it out loud all the time, playing off my record player. But I hope they liked it. I hope you guys like it too. It's like a personal favorite of mine. Like Jared said, like just walking around. I got to walk around Central Park with this. The one day I was like, I never been to Central Park, so let me just check this out. I had this playing on. It was like such a vibe. This song itself, Stuck on the Puzzle, it makes me feel like young again. I know I'm still young, but it makes me feel like a teenager. It's like a guy falling in love with a girl, and like that was kind of like my teenage years.
I was gonna say,
like,
is that what you were going through at the time? Like, is that why it's special
yeah,
to you? Okay.
Yeah, I kind of like was like heartbreaking at the time and like kind of just going through it.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like chilling, just like focusing on myself. At the
Right.
time, yeah, I was like kind of like going through like emotional stuff, and so like this kind of like really related and like
Yeah, it just resonated with you.
like
Okay.
immediately like even just off the bat, he said like, I'm not the kind of fool who's gonna sit and sing to you about stars, but then he just goes into talking about
Yeah,
stars.
he
away.
just does it anyway.
Like contradicts
Right,
himself.
Yeah. Which I
That
think we've all been there.
yeah, that kind of like threw me into the song right away. I was like, okay, let me listen. And then just like the whole vibe of it's really nice. It's like it makes me feel young. It's like kind of bittersweet.
What about you, Manny? What'd you think first listen?
Yeah, that was cool. It started off very simple, and I thought that's the direction it was gonna go in, but then it kind of pivoted and was a little bit more. I don't know what the term would be. It just that beginning drum sound was like the first thing that you do. Yeah, that's like the first thing you learn when you're playing drums. It's just like just step on the bass a couple times, and to you like it just kind of sounds cool. But then as you get into like more intricate things, you realize that like, oh, I can't really do that in a song. But he did it in this, and then just like kind of transitioned into something that was a little bit more technical. But it was cool. It took that was a fun, a nice little ride. It was like a little wave, if you will. Yeah.
I personally love, again, the verses. I'm a verse and bridge guy, as you guys can probably tell by now. But I love the noise. It's like boom, boom, boom. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Of course, when someone, it could be a piano that's just like tampered with.
Yeah.
But both of these songs actually have like interesting, weird, obviously messed with like instrumentations to them all, or to them both. There's something about this song that like when I was writing down my notes and it was just playing in the background, it's a song that like you could see in like a movie during like a montage scene when you're just like doing shit.
Yeah.
So when I was writing, I like had it in the back of my mind. Like I was like, oh, I feel like I'm in like a movie with this song. Like this song, this is one of those songs that like you kind of feel like you're in a movie. At least that's how I look at it. And it's cool you brought up the drums because it's really crazy you brought up that drum beat because I was gonna say this song sounds like because this album, this EP is like technically a stripped back album because obviously they have electric instruments in that song, but to me it still sounds like a stripped down album.
Yeah.
It sounds like a song that you could walk into a coffee shop and you could put a band up and you could replicate that song perfectly just with normal instruments like a 3-piece. But it still has like that power to it, like when the chorus comes in, when the fingers in the last, and like the musicianship over the chorus. Like to me, that's what I really like about this is that it's like stripped down without being stripped down. And like I love songs like that. Do you guys know what I mean? Like by that, do you hear that too?
Yeah.
It's a lot of acoustic too, but yeah, I like acoustics actually. I'm no part get all that crap for this, but over electric, I do love electric. Don't get me wrong, but I do love acoustic more.
You're not gonna get crap for that.
I feel like
everyone
people
loves
like,
acoustic. No, acoustic shit is emotional.
It's like two different vibes, but like I just my heart has acoustics all the time.
Some of my favorite songs are led by acoustic.
Yeah, no. Typically, when I find a song that I like. One of the first things I do is I search up like, please tell me they did an acoustic version of this song because I want to hear how different it sounds. And usually, when you do that, it's more like intimate.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
so
true.
like that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, this song is one of those songs that I usually have in my daily rotation. I mean, this EP has a couple songs that I like really like that I put into my rotation, and this is definitely one of them. So. If you guys are someone who's looking for more Arctic Monkeys content, I think this is more Arctic Monkeys like than Julian's stuff is more Strokes like.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's a good point because when I'm listening to it, I'm sitting here thinking like, this could be, if you would have told me this was like Arctic Monkeys at some point, I'd have been like, oh, okay, yeah, I can hear it. So yeah.
There's a song on this EP called Pile Driver Waltz that they do on Suck It and See, but it's on this EP, a stripped down version. Okay. And I like this version better. And that's the one that I was going to tell him, Will. I was like, should we have done that one? Because now I'm excited for you to hear that version. Because this one is, in my opinion, 10 times better than the Arctic Monkeys version.
I might have heard that version. I could be wrong, but I might have heard that.
It's more like beautiful in my opinion. Yeah. The way that they made it sound and Suck It and See with like the electric guitars kind of took me out of the melody.
Yeah, it's more like more studio-ish.
Yeah. This version's so much better. It's like what you said. It's like you find the acoustic version of it. This is what it is.
I like it. Yeah, I'm sorry to make you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
Because it sounds like it's not like a studio, probably like a recorded studio maybe. It sounds like he made this album for one person. He's singing these songs to them. So it sounds really personal.
Yep. Yeah, I'd agree. Are you ready for rankings? Do we got anything else? Do you want to talk about the lyrics a little bit? I know you talked about it a little bit with the stars.
I was gonna say, just like he does this in a lot of his songs, Alex Turner, but like just the wordplay, like he could say the most simple things, but like he kind of turns it. It makes you think a little bit more. Like fingers dimming the lights. He could have just like you turn off the lights or something. It's something really simple.
Alex is a very good lyricist.
Yeah,
the Arctic Monkeys are very good lyricists. Like
I wonder how much of that though is like. Because they're from a different country, they just have a different lingo.
Sometimes is, for sure.
Sometimes I wonder, like to like a UK audience, like is that how they just kind of like to them that'd be like normal talk? I'd be curious to know. But you're right. He usually with his lyrics, the way that he says it, it can sometimes have like a double meaning, or sometimes it could be a very simple thing, but it's the way that he says it. Yeah.
This is the guy that wrote Star Treatment. Which is one of the best lyrical songs that they've ever done, if not the best. Like, he was able to... We gotta talk about that later when we get to that album.
Let's save that. I have words for that song.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh my God.
He has a great vocabulary.
Yeah, he is a phenomenal writer. So, if you guys are looking for... a stripped down version of Arctic Monkeys. This EP has like 6 songs on it. It's perfect for you. They have a Stuck on a Puzzle intro. So like they have the first song on the EP is like an intro that sounds like this song, but it's like 45 seconds. So there's no point in covering it. But it does like this is the song that like makes this EP what it is.
The intro is like it's like the first verse, I think.
Yeah. It's slower. It's beautiful. It's melodic.
So,
But all right, rankings. I'll go first with this one. I'm gonna give it a 4.
I thought you were gonna go back-to-back fives.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna go to 4. For sure. It's a song that if I put it on, I don't skip it. But it's also a song that like I don't constantly seek out. It's usually if I hear it and put it on, and it's on, good. But it's a great stripped back song. I just almost at this point can't wait until we have a song, Rick, where I can give it a 3 or a 2 because I feel like I've already given 2 4s and a 5. I feel like I'm ahead of myself, but I feel like I feel like we've all given pretty good reasons as to why we rate what we do. But that's what I would rank it. What do you think? You go last because you like it.
Okay.
You go.
Yeah. Okay. So, I can't give it a 5 obviously because it's the first time I heard it, and I would lose all credibility with what I just said with like the previous song.
Yeah.
So with that being said, just off base level, I'm gonna say a 4 also. Like this is a song I'll definitely. So the Strokes one, or not Strokes, I'm sorry, the Julian one, I probably like won't listen to it like when I get home tonight. This is the type of song where like if I have a couple extra minutes, like, hey, let me listen to that again because it was really, really good. But I'd like to hear it a little bit deeper. Throw the headphones on, listen to like the all the little sounds that I might have missed and the different lyrics and stuff. But just off base level, yeah, that's a solid 4. That's the type of song where like I could see myself listening to it enough to where I would elevate it to a 5 because that's exactly the type of music that I like. So yeah.
What do you think?
I'm giving it the 5. Back-to-back 5.
All right.
Back-to-back 5. I knew it was gonna happen.
Will's 4 4 5, and we ain't even done the regular episode yet. We could be at 3 5s at some. Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of 5s for me on this album, just because how much it like just goes into my vibe and like how I feel about it. There's a lot of other couple songs I really love on this album, but yeah, this song I'll also give it a 5.
Is this your favorite off the album, like for sure?
No, there's another one.
There's
when
another
we get
one,
to it,
okay.
I'll say that's my.
Okay.
Talk about that a little
So
bit more.
2 5s.
At least
there's
2
gonna be, like,
5s.
another-
At least 2 5s because he
another
did say
5.
he loves
Damn.
the album. It might
We're
be
on
more
fire.
than that.
All right, now I get it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I know there's an album where I have more than 1 5.
Like my birthday's next month, and if someone wants to get me this on a vinyl, I would love them forever.
I feel like that'd be pretty tough. I have a feeling this is like a tough one to get because the Julian one. No, I'm wrong.
It's probably really obscure, but I'm sure it exists out there somewhere.
The Julian one's a regular LP, so you can get that. This one's an EP. EPs are usually tougher to get on vinyl. But anyway, guys, this is our first bonus episode. Please be gentle with us. Please give us feedback because we want to know what you guys would want from a bonus episode because I know this was pretty basic, but we wanted to give the solo stuff its own time without cramming it all into the main ones. So you guys just let us know what you're thinking for these. If there's anything we can take out, anything we can add. This is all. These first few episodes, all we're gonna do is ask you guys for feedback because we need it, just to see what we might need to be changed. But how do you guys feel about those?
That was a solid. I'm pretty happy with that. I was a little worried that like, oh man, am I gonna think these songs are terrible and then I'm gonna have to say this,
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that was it was at the very least interesting. And I'll definitely be now. I'm excited to like hear more of like what we just heard. So
Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in for our first bonus episode. That was Julian Casablancas' song "Glass" from his solo album "Phrazes for the Young," and that was Alex Turner's song "Stuck on a Puzzle" from his EP called Submarine. Both of those things are available to stream at any streaming thing, so go right to their things. Type in Alex Turner, type in Julian Casablancas. Everything is there, so it's not like this rare B-side thing you can only find on YouTube. It's everywhere. But thank you guys for listening. We will see you in the next main episode, episode 2. Don't forget to go to our Reddit or our socials, Karma and Tranquility, and comment your thoughts on this next episode coming up, which is going to be the modern age, and I bet you look good on the dance floor, so it's a big one. We will talk to you guys soon. See you later. Hey guys, it's Jared here. Thank you so much for listening to the episode. You can find us on all our socials at Karma and Tranquility, and Twitter, Karma and Tranquil. Our link trees are posted in every single description on every social, so you can access everything that we have to offer. And we will see you every Wednesday for our normal episodes and every Friday for a bonus episode.